All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the Real Reporter Special Edition. Yes, we're back. It is the Batman spoiler-filled discussion. Yes, you heard correctly. Spoiler-filled discussion. If you haven't seen the movie, please tune out now. This is your warning.
At this point, if you haven't seen the movie, you're one of like 5 people in the whole United States that haven't seen it yet.
I mean, maybe.
It's Batman's biggest opening weekend ever.
Oh, let me introduce my colleague for tonight, Mr. David Feldman.
Hello.
We will be having Nick come in a little bit later. He is doing some stuff. I will, Todd. I just want to throw it out here. Welcome to the chat, Todd. I just want to throw out that this will eventually lead to a spoiler-filled discussion. I just wanted to get that out of the way now. So,
yeah.
My goodness, the caps was just so loud there.
Sorry?
So, not you, Todd. Oh. Todd, like, put full caps. Why don't you discuss non-spoilers first?
Non-spoilers. Robert Pattinson was in this movie. Zoe Saldana was in this movie. No, wait, Zoe Kravitz.
No, Zoe Kravitz. Ooh.
Sorry.
Wow.
No. In my defense, I was talking to my wife. She couldn't remember which Zoe was in there, and so she goes, "The one that was in Marvel, or the one that was
the
green,
Guardians
right?
of the Galaxy."
Yeah, and I was like, "No, that's Zoe Saldana," and now she stuck in my head. What was really cool? Let's not talk spoilers real quick. Let's talk about the prequel, the pre-movie trailers. Morbius in 2022. That was cool.
Oh, I don't like that.
You don't like Morbius? I
don't like Jared Leto specifically.
What do you have against Jared Leto?
This is, this I'm glad you brought this up.
Oh no.
Jared Leto is an overrated hack of an actor.
Okay, are you saying this because of what happened with Suicide Squad and the awful...
Partially, but also, like, he doesn't deserve the acclaim following and or, like, I don't even know if reverence is the right word here. It doesn't, like, he's just not that great of an actor.
He's a little weird. I think it's because he's weird looking.
No, that has nothing to do with it. Plenty of people look weird. Doug Jones, for instance, the guy who's like behind every Guillermo del Toro like puppet.
Doug Jones.
He looks kind of weird, but that doesn't mean
he is weird looking,
right? But like he's still like a good human being.
Oh, holy crap! He's what's his face in Discovery? Oh,
yes, yeah. Okay, he is in like anytime someone needs a like
alien,
like kind of strange looking character that they can apply tons of makeup to. He's very limber. He can fit in like a box if he has to.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very like he's in a bunch of stuff. So
yeah, he really is. Okay.
But what I'm saying is Jared Leto, like, I hated his Joker with a passion. You obviously know this.
I mean, you're not alone in this by any means.
And he sent used condoms to his co-stars.
Yeah, that's just weird. Like, did he just unwrap them and slap them around, or were they used? Like, as in he
I
used
just imagine him looking into a mirror, doing his Joker voice. He's like, "Oh yeah, here we go."
And he's giving he's saying he's doing the old rub and tug.
Yeah, he does his business, and then there you go. What a strange way to start a podcast that we haven't had since No Time to Die, mind you.
And we lost one of our viewers. Oh no.
So I just want to talk real briefly. This is now, how many years has this been since I don't even want to say Justice League, although technically
Batman
that would be correct.
versus Superman.
How many years has it been since Batman versus Superman?
Batman versus Superman came out, according to Wikipedia, 2016. So we have literally gone 7 years.
And Justice League was 2018?
I believe so, yes. And then, of course, the Zack Snyder cut, 2020.
Which we don't count the Zack Snyder cut, because it's... I mean, you could technically, but it's not really...
I'm literally falling asleep talking about it. As great as it was so fucking long. It was so long.
So it's been 4 years since we've had a Batman reboot.
Yes. A new Batman. Now, to be fair,
was this necessary?
This Batman was originally supposed to be Ben Affleck.
Yes.
And he was also going to direct and star in it. And I see a Nikki. Nikki, come on down. Or not.
Oh, is he here?
Yeah. Do you need to? I guess I'll bring him in. Nicholas.
You've moved me against my will.
Okay, fine then.
Oh, great.
I mean, he said against his will. I'm not gonna. I apologize, Nick. I guess it was too soon.
He probably can't. He couldn't even hear you because he's probably not watching the stream right now.
He's not watching the stream? Wow. What kind of supporter are you? I'm not even watching the stream.
Does he want to have a double echo? Probably not.
I mean, I'm not even watching the stream either, so I can't say anything. But anyways, we were talking about
something about Batfleck.
Yeah, we're talking about Batfleck. What the hell are you chewing on, bro?
Oh, can you really hear that?
Yeah, I
got
heard that.
Fries. I gotta fucking eat. Okay?
That was not fries, man. That was bolts. You're eating bolts.
Well, then it's called a fucking hearty meal. Deal with
it. Dear audience, I'd like to welcome Nick to the podcast
with his bolts.
So yeah, we've got Batfleck. Obviously, just like you were saying, Ben Affleck was supposed to direct this one.
He was supposed to direct and star in this one. This was actually a complete redo. So what I suspect happened, and this is just me kind of like suspecting and throwing out possible scenarios, but I think what ended up happening was they had set aside all this money for the Batfleck movie, which is obviously supposed to be a continuation of the Snyderverse. And what ended up happening was they had all this money to burn, and a Batman movie that was rumored and ready to be talked about and done, but no one to helm it and no one to act in it. So of course our dear director, which I am flaking on at Matt Reeves. Right. Matt Reeves came up with his own version of the Dark Knight, and
that's partially it. He basically came aboard. He read Ben Affleck's script. He said, this is great, but I really want to do like a detective noir story. That's what I want to do. I thought they had
scrubbed the script entirely before he even came on.
No, he had a chance to look at it and be like, do I want to use it? They'd already spent the money developing it.
Affleck wouldn't like direct the script that he had, then it probably wouldn't have been as good if they even use the same one anyway, because he's got a certain style and charm to his movies.
I don't know if I've actually watched a Ben Affleck movie, if I'm actually being honest with you.
Wow,
like
but
The Town, Argo.
I haven't watched The Town. I haven't watched Argo. The movies that he makes don't really like gravitate towards. Like, I don't gravitate towards this movie. I couldn't really tell you why. Movies. Well, I mean, I feel like out of all of us, and this is not to like shit on Jim or anything, Jim probably has the most eclectic taste out of all of us for movies. And I'd be very curious how he rates like Ben Affleck movies, of which, Jim, if you are watching, are not Kevin Smith properties. Because Ben Affleck in Dogma was great. He was also great in, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I don't know about Argo. I don't know about The Town. So
The Town was good. Argo, that was good.
Jeremy Renner was in The Town, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
I believe so, yeah.
Anyways,
it's a good like little lowbrow crime flick. So
it's not.
He's getting right into it. Oh wait, sorry. Thought you were talking about the Batman for a second there. I was like, yeah, we have an introduction.
Well, so obviously we got a little bit of the background now. When this was first announced, specifically when Robert Pattinson was cast, I think there was a sharp reaction within the community.
There was a sharp reaction in this room. What are you talking about?
There was a sharp reaction, and there's a lot of people that were like, you know what? It's just, he's the worst choice for this.
Yes.
The worst choice?
I don't know about the worst, but definitely not good. Would you rather have
Kevin James?
You know what? Fat Man? The Fat Batman? Oh, you know what? That could...
Animaniacs already did it.
No, hold on. Well, see, here's the thing about Kevin James got kind of... it got pretty good shape for Here Comes the Boom.
Yeah, and Jonah Hill got in good shape for 21 Jump Street. Would you cast him as Batman too?
Let's see. I don't want to give away my opinions about this particular casting yet. So I will refrain from answering.
Okay, then. But, yeah, it's not even just because he was in Twilight that, like, I thought it's not that great. He's not the greatest choice for Batman. It's because, like, he does some weird fucking movies, too.
Oh, yeah, The Lighthouse.
I did like him in Good Times.
Well, okay, so if I've got a couple things being pulled up here. So let's look at Robert Pattinson.
Do we have to look at
recently? Well, just recently. Just look at his movies, right?
Okay.
So we've got Tenet, which I did not like.
Yeah, it wasn't great. And I didn't even realize I'll be honest with you, I didn't even realize he was in it. That's how insignificant he is to me.
I didn't know he was in it either.
And I watched the movie.
He was in The King. He was in The Lighthouse. He's done a lot of, I would consider, more artsy films.
Eclectic.
The one where it's 9/11.
Which one is that?
The one where it's 9/11. Which one was that?
Hold on, I'm looking at your list. It was after Twilight.
Maps to the Stars?
No. Wait, that sounds like a Hallmark movie.
I did not realize he was T.E. Lawrence. That's pretty interesting.
Being in the Desert, never seen it.
Oh yeah, what? Oh no, what movie was it? But it was definitely. I mean, yeah. Here's a spoiler cast for you. The ending, it's all 9/11. It's like doesn't start and it doesn't tell you anything about the movie. Doesn't even tell you the time period. But then it ends in 9/11. No, it wasn't Good Time.
Was it Good Time?
It was not Good Time. That was closer to Batman movie than anything he's ever done.
I mean, he looks about the same. Just
are we sure that it's?
Are you sure it's a 9/11 movie?
100% positive.
Cosmopolis? Let's see.
Well, anyways, I feel like we're getting away from the whole thing here.
Yeah, dude, he's riding across Manhattan in the stretch limo in order to get a haircut.
Oh, that's a David Cronenberg film. That's automatically going to be
weird,
a little strange. Like, let's just be realistic here.
You know what? Sounds like a 9/11 movie. Water for Elephants. Let's take a look at that.
Oh man, this fucking list did not age well. There's a list that came out
1911.
There's a list that came out in 2019. 11 actors who could play Batman now that Ben Affleck is out. You got Jake Gyllenhaal.
No.
Timothée Chalamet.
Who?
The kid who was in Dune.
Oh God, no.
Okay. Michael B. Jordan. which I think he's supposed to be tapped for a Superman film, which I think would be really good.
You know,
I could definitely see him as a Superman.
Now, here's the thing: Michael B. Jordan would be great.
That's the name of the movie.
I already forgot him. Michael B. Jordan, I think, would be fantastic as what was his name? Bat Force? No. Which one's the mech suit Batman? Does anyone know Batman lore?
I don't remember the mech suit Batman, but I know what you're talking about.
He basically during Batman's Inc., there was a mech suit Batman, and that was Lucius Fox's son.
Yeah, well, other than just him being black, he wouldn't be that great because the mech suit Batman, I don't remember his name, but he was very meek.
Which not in any of the portrayals I've seen.
What portrayals? He hasn't been in a movie.
Yeah. Well, he's been in the animated DC universe.
Timothy Fox. He eventually becomes Batman. Fox? Well, okay. So Ben Barnes is another one who you probably don't know who Ben's been. Oscar Isaac. That would be an interesting one, but he's doing Moon Knight now. So I'm not saying that you can't go to Marvel and then go back to DC or whatever, but it's just.
I mean, obviously, somebody
him being
did
Batman, and then him being
Moon Knight would be
DC's Batman.
Oscar Isaac definitely does have the jawline,
or being Marvel's Batman.
The reason why I say this list doesn't age very well is because Armie Hammer is a cannibal. So, no.
Oh no.
You may want Kit Harington to play the next Batman, aka Jon Snow. That's not happening.
Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah.
Jon Snow can't even be an interesting character in a travesty of a movie.
So I mean, this is circa 2019. So this
Jaden Smith?
Yeah, Jaden Smith.
What? No.
Oh, that's actually pretty interesting. Riddler, Javier Bardem.
I would no. You know what make it interesting? Jane Smith would have made a very interesting Riddler.
I could see that.
Right?
Well, okay, so do you know who was originally supposed to play Riddler?
You know who I should think who should have played Riddler? Not saying anything against this phenomenal Riddler, but I would have really liked to see Robert Pattinson as the Riddler.
Oh.
Because I'm thinking, scrawny little weirdo, and that's Robert Pattinson to a T. Andrew Garfield, maybe?
Jonah Hill was supposed to play.
What?
Yeah, he's originally supposed to play Riddler.
No, don't say that.
Serious. I kind of feel like they really messed up with their whole universe thing by putting what's the kid from Zombieland.
The guy who did Social Media, I think.
Damn it. I know it's on the top.
Jesse Eisenberg. As Riddler, but they added him as Lex Luthor.
Horrible Lex Luthor, by the way. Horrible Lex Luthor.
Especially once they shaved his head and then he was talking more. I was like,
I didn't mind him once he was fully transformed, actually.
Okay, well, anyways. So, I think we've come to a good part in the conversation. We're 20 minutes in, so if you we're not expecting spoilers at this point, I apologize. We're going to spoilers now.
Spoiler alert!
Catwoman gets decapitated.
God damn it! Thankfully, no.
Shit.
Wow. I do have a funny thing about that later on. Not the decapitation part. Just making sure just pointing that out right now.
Spoiler alert: she was not decapitated.
Right. So,
nearly headless zombies. Okay.
So I saw this Sunday.
Just one thing. I just noticed that in TeamSpeak, I'm not recording, so I don't know.
No, that's fine. We're doing dual recordings as a backup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
right,
so cool. You're good. I'm doing multi-track. He's doing singles.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
So I saw this Sunday. I'm not sure what day David and Nick you saw it. But basically the theater itself wasn't like super crowded. Saw it at 7:30. I asked the guy who was handing out popcorn, "It's like, so how long is this movie?" He's like, "Oh, it is 3 hours and 10 minutes." That is when
10 minutes.
And that is when I began to be filled with regret.
I was gonna say it's not 3 hours 10 minutes. Maybe he was adding in all the trailers and crap.
I would probably say so.
Well, I know so because it's 2 hours 58 minutes is the actual runtime.
I mean, that's still 3 hours, though.
Oh, I'm aware. I'm very aware. That's why I, read IMDb and saw the runtime and said I need to pee first because that is a bladder busting 3 hours.
Thankfully, I went to the restroom before. I also had like just a Sprite that I drank very conservatively because I was like, I can't do that anymore with 3 hour min. Like, so I'm gonna be honest with you. This movie too. I was even talking to Jim about this because he was like, "Oh, I'm thinking about seeing him on the fence." I feel a little spoiled by movies, especially at the day one release streaming, because I'm just so used to now like being able to hit pause and go to the restroom. Like 3 hour movies don't feel like 3 hours. This one made me feel the 3 hours the entire film. Not because
so it's one of those like that film so long that your ass starts hurting, but you're noticing it.
Not because like the length of itself is what a lovely thing to show. It didn't feel like it was that long, painfully so. The pacing of the film,
not according to my ass.
I mean, the pacing of the film was, I'd say, incredibly. It was
slow.
A lot. It was slow. So
it was slow.
The opening of the film, basically, from what I can remember, because this is now like 2 days since I saw it, so some of the details might be a little bit fragmented. It starts off very like out of focus because you're supposed to be from the Riddler's perspective, or who you are later seen to be the Riddler.
Yeah, you're seeing the original crime take place.
Okay.
Not really from the Riddler's perspective, though.
It is from it's first person Riddler. You're watching him.
He's got the binoculars and he's going like back, and you can hear his breathing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So just like every Batman film since the Nolan trilogy, you get an introduction to the bad guy very first thing, which I thought was cool. It was a nice little nod to the Batman, all the Batmen before this one. But this movie definitely reminds me of the Zodiac Killer. If you guys haven't seen that movie, I suggest you do.
That's the one with Gyllenhaal?
I know.
I really think so. Robert Downey Jr., Mark Ruffalo. Like before Iron Man or anything Marvel.
This is old. It's old.
2004, maybe. I might be a little bit off with that.
Yeah.
So the Riddler itself, he isn't immediately like revealed like this is the Riddler. Right. I have to admit the opening scene with him just like standing behind the dude, as he's like talking on the phone, I was like, God damn, this is creepy. Like this is kind of like a horror movie so far,
right?
You just see the glint in his mask.
Yeah,
his two eyes
breathing.
It's like, it was a bit creepy.
Yeah, it was.
It was fantastic.
Well done. So, that part was really good. The overall opening scene,
because I'd say, out of all the Batman movies I've watched, this was the best introduction of the Batman I've ever seen.
Yeah,
because as they didn't show him getting his parents fucking shot again.
Dude, I'm so glad you mentioned that, because I'm not gonna lie to you, and I know maybe this was like purposeful. whenever I saw the kid in like the Halloween costume, and then I see the dude like walk up in his like, tuxedo or whatever, I was like, oh no. We're about to watch the death scene. Is it going to take place at their house now? And then they start talking about like they say his name or whatever, and I was like, oh, it's not Thomas Wayne. Thank fucking God. Because there's only so many times you can watch the pearls like fall onto the ground, and then Bruce Wayne.
I think that's what the movies are doing these days. Is it's been done over and over again. We don't need to see it. Just like the latest Spider-Man movies, they're not showing Uncle Ben dying because he's gonna keep dying. We already know.
Yeah, because with Homecoming, he was already gone by that point. Like you never saw Uncle Ben. So yeah, I definitely think there was the right tactic. We're not
entirely sure. To be fair, though, we're not entirely sure he was even was ever killed.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I never really thought about it.
Not there.
We know he's not there. We know he's died, but we don't know if yeah.
Are you sure?
He's mentioned Ben once.
I don't even remember that.
I distinctly remember him mentioning it once. Exactly where, I can't say, but I know he did.
Okay.
Unless it's Mandela effect. Shit, maybe there was no Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben was never
all
around.
I know is there was a very attractive Aunt May. That's all I know.
So, the opening of this movie, though, as soon as we're going to say Bruce Wayne starts narrating, I immediately was like, oh man, this is like Rorschach with Watchmen. Because the voice was the same. He was like, this city doesn't know, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh man, I'm getting some heavy Watchmen vibes right now. I thought it was kind of clever how they were showing, like, from the shadows, they look up at the spotlight and they're like, oh my goodness, I'm starting to get
because they're talking about the fear of Batman. Like that's his whole thing with the criminals is he doesn't want them to know that he can punch him very hard. He's like, he wants them to fear him. Right. And so when they if they see that light, they know something's up. And every criminal doing like the pettiest of crimes, they're just getting scared at the shadows. I was like, all right, I'm on board.
So the part where he actually like walks out for the first time and like the boot sitting the ground, like this is all great. This is the part I liked his introduction.
I was overwhelmed.
Well,
I'm sorry,
but have you ever been whelmed?
I've been whelmed.
Okay, so I just want to point this out real quick. I have talked to David before about what his favorite Batman movie is. We have gone around this for many years now.
Yep.
I personally think The Dark Knight is like the benchmark. David does not agree that the Dark Knight is the benchmark.
Right. And the reason why I say that is because it's a terrible movie. The only reason people accolade it, give it so many accolades, is because of one good actor. One good actor does not redeem an entire movie of trash.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, what is your favorite Batman movie?
My favorite Batman movie?
I want to hear David's is considered just trash. What is your favorite Batman movie, and would you also consider it trash or gold standard?
Gold standard to me is The Batman Returns.
Oh, God.
It truly is. I mean, I
was talking to Jim about this, because that's also his favorite.
Because it was so fucking good.
Hold on, I need to consult his list just to make sure accurately. I consider Batman Returns just really campy. Not as campy as the '60s film,
Oh, I was gonna say, dude, bro,
which by all rights is a classic in its own right.
Have you never seen any movie after the Batman? Which one was it?
We don't talk about the Joel Schumacher films. We don't talk about Bat Nipples.
The Bat Nipples.
Because this is the thing.
Yeah, like Clooney with the Bat credit card.
Yeah,
oh, man.
Yeah. That was pure gold.
That's platinum standard right there.
Listen, as far as like introductions to Batman himself, I like this one. Now, I will say it was at this part in the movie where I was like, man, I wonder how much they spent on rain machines for this film.
Because a lot, because it was never not raining.
From that moment on, I was telling Julia about this. I was like, I just felt like I was drenched the entire film.
Everyone in this movie is just moist.
Oh no!
But not only that, Nick, they went for a lovely sense of realism, so much that you know how in correct me if I'm wrong, Michelle Pfeiffer is Batman Returns, Catwoman, right?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Did you hear her suit move when she moved?
Yeah, absolutely did.
Did you though?
In Batman Returns?
Yeah. Like, did you hear it? Hear it? Like, constantly. Because every single time Batman moves in this movie, it's very methodical and it's just. And I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I need that much realism in my film. I don't know if I need that much.
Covered in metal, but when you brought up where he in the beginning, the introduction where he steps out of the shadows and you just hear the boots.
Yeah,
it was that multiple times throughout the movie where you just hear the heaviest fucking steps.
Like, right. Was he like 1,000 pounds? Like, I know he's the scrawniest Batman, but you think he'd be able to lift up his foot.
That suit, though, is pretty
jokey,
heavy, I would say.
Hilarious looking, weird. Why has he got a pop collar? Why does he have a pop collar?
For protection against knives.
Protection against
ears.
All right. Before I trigger David even more.
Pop collars. Pop collars do not protect you against knives, sir. Look, this asshole right here, the Batman, can sit here and take shotgun after shotgun shell, pistol after pistol hit, multiple freaking submachine gun strikes like nothing. He just shakes them off like it's nothing. He just starts beating and wailing on other people with the softest Batman fist I've ever seen. But
he takes one shotgun.
He takes one shotgun at the very end of the movie when they realize it wasn't a detective war movie anymore. Oh, wait, we're making a superhero movie. Hold on, let's add some false bullshit in here and pretend like it matters now. He got hit by the most massive shotgun of all shotguns. Apparently, this guy was carrying around a bazooka. This dude took a freaking bomb to the face. Somehow his face is shielded too. Didn't even get a black eye. But the shotgun knocked him down. Oh, whatever. Fuck this movie.
Are you done with your rant? Because
I'm not yet, but continue. Sorry.
All right. This is year 2 Batman.
Bullshit Batman.
Okay, baby, it's gonna be okay.
It's not.
This is year 2 Batman because this Batman keeps a diary and he literally writes year 2.
Yes,
on the front cover. And he's like, "This is my high school diary."
Like this guy is not even smart.
He's Bat Trapper Keeper.
Yeah,
Trapper Keeper.
Hold on. Full pause though. Let's talk about where he's writing all this down. Full pause. What kind of fucking bullshit garage ass shitty bat cave is this anyway? Like
probably a second year bat cave.
Not even a second year bat cave. All they did was like, oh, here we got a little longer back walkway. Here's some bats so that you're in the bat cave, but it's like sad and tiny.
It's an abandoned metro tunnel that no one uses. He even has like a secret entrance to it.
Right, but is it a secret entrance? It was more or less the fact that just people forgot about it and he sealed it up.
Well, no, because he goes down the stairs on his bike, and then you see the gate open up.
Yeah.
And then once he goes through it, it closes down with.
Yeah, you can see it here. I've got like, it looks like I would say Grand Central Station type styling for like the railings.
It looks
globes.
like an abandoned subway station,
right?
That somebody forgot, and very similar to probably the millions of subway stations underneath New York City.
Okay,
where it just got buried and someone forgot about it. It just okay. Look, here's the thing: Batman movies,
because it's not a cave.
Oh, you can even see the rail cars in the background.
Though it doesn't have to be a cave. Literally, in the sense of the word, it doesn't have to be a cave. But the Bat Cave itself is always a character in the movie. It is a sight to behold. You feel the ambiance of the Bat Cave, and where this guy does his training and his work and stuff. Every single movie until this movie did an amazing job with it. I would think, after 2 years.
Well, here's the thing though. Yes, it's 2 years. But, I want to say he's trying to keep a semi-low profile to a certain degree, which we'll get into a little bit later on in film, because there's a moment where like this whole thing almost fell apart for him. But basically, like, to me, it seems that the focus of this particular Batman is very much like getting the job done. As much, I mean, I couldn't help myself as soon as when he was like, "What are you?" He was like, "Vengeance."
No, you gotta say it right. You gotta say it in Pattinson's voice. Vengeance.
Goddamn. So as soon as he said it, I was just like, "Oh, okay, they're gonna go that route."
But I liked how they didn't do the thing with like how the Nolan movies do, where they add like just a stupid amount of gravel. It's just him being more serious. It's not like trying to actually mask his voice with like a fake voice. As far as
the voice was perfect. I thought the voice, I was not bothered by it. Okay, so let's fundamentally take a step back here. The Batman himself was great. I loved the suit. Sorry, David. I love the suit. I love the voice.
I like the suit.
The actual like acting was a little kind of wooden, like, because he was very much just like
emo.
There was a lot of takes where he's just like standing in the corner and just staring. And you're like, I don't know if you're trying to be intimidating, dude, but it just comes off as like you're just like at a party and you're like, I don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah, but are you talking about all the scenes where he's at like a crime scene?
Yeah. Like I get that in most cases he's actually like the detective aspect was fantastic. Him like looking down and going like, oh, this is what happens, or like this will match like this thing back at the crime scene. That part was great. But every moment where he's just kind of standing there, just being a creeper, kind of staring into space, like he's like, I don't even know why I'm here. I'm listening to that Kurt Cobain Nirvana song in my head. Because that's how the movie opens, is with that song.
Yeah, but I don't know if I said this, but I thought that he does a great Batman, but he does a very shitty Bruce Wayne.
Oh, there is no Bruce Wayne in this movie.
Oh, yeah, there is. There's plenty of Bruce Wayne in this movie.
I'll tell you why there's no Bruce Wayne in this movie.
Why?
Because he's just a wimpy motherfucker who's trying to act like Bruce Wayne, which has always been the case for Batman. Bruce Wayne is supposed to be the fake Batman, essentially.
Yeah.
He's just there on the surface, the persona, but like
he is Batman, and he wears the mask of Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne, correct. So that's adequately represented in this, I think. But what I'm trying to say,
not even a little bit.
Hold on. The fact that the persona is there what I'm trying to say is that like I was trying to explain to someone at work because he's like, how was it? How was Bruce Wayne? I said, well, this is not the Bruce Wayne that you're used to. He doesn't try to act like a bachelor.
He's not the socialite yet. Yeah.
He's definitely not a socialite. He's not doing like he is basically one step removed from being Batman 100% of the time. The only time he's out of the costume is because he's got to eat and probably take a shower. And I think that was not necessarily a critical mistake that they made in this, because one thing I appreciate, there's one particular scene, Alfred comes in, he's like, hey, the accounting staff is here. He's like, well, why are they here? Because you want to go to them. And I was like, oh man, we're about to see like a boring ass scene with the accounting people. And they just cut and it's on to the next thing. I was like, okay, cool. This is all about the Batman. The entire movie. The Bruce Wayne thing, he's there as a character and only to provide a driver to the story moving forward. He is not there for show. He's not there for comedy. He's literally just there just to propel Batman's story forward, in my opinion.
It also played a very important part of the story and the mindset of Batman as well. If you really think about it, because of that scene that you mentioned, you failed to mention the most important part of that scene was the fact that his fortune is getting dwindled away. He's sitting there spending all this money on the Bat gear and his lack of a Bat cave and his like in pieces car. And for whatever reason, the 90% of the time he's driving around on a motorcycle.
Because he's building the car as he goes.
Right, but I understand that.
Yeah,
that's
because
fine.
motorcycles are fun.
Because, like, he couldn't have just, done that car in, like, a good, like, one day. But, that's how it seemed like, because apparently that car was in pieces, and somehow, magically, in 3 days, it wasn't.
Well, I mean, I want to say
you've never fixed a car without telling me you've never fixed a car.
No, I mean, I'm saying he magically had a car from nothing to everything in 3 days while still fighting.
No, I mean, the chassis was there. The chassis was there under the blanket. Right. The engine block was off to the left.
Still in pieces.
No, it wasn't.
Most
it was a complete.
It was together. There was still like you talk about the camshaft pistons and stuff like that. Yeah, those are pieces that can be put in the car in like an hour.
An hour.
Yes, because I've done it to my car.
In an hour? I think you're being a little. I don't know about an hour.
Okay, hold up. I'm just gonna say something real quick.
Okay.
You're okay with everything. Listen, this movie, I will say, is the most realistic portrayal of Batman yet. Let's just be let's be honest here.
I will give you that. Hockey pads is a very realistic Batman.
No, not even that. I'm talking about
hockey pads.
I'm talking about the first time he quote unquote takes flight. Like
the fat squirrel suit? The inflatable squirrel suit?
Yeah, but like it's a realistic take on the fact that his cape more than likely is not going to give him the actual lift he needs to go around the city flying. So the fact that
it doesn't have like full on Wayne tech technology.
First off, Batman never flew. He glided.
No, I'm saying he. I understand that. But if we look at the cape, if we look at the cape in this movie, it's not going to do what it did in Batman Begins, where it's like, oh, you run an electrical curve for it and it turns stiff and blah 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 blah. Like
the memory,
I appreciated this. I appreciated this movie for the fact that
it was definitely the most rounded movie.
Right? If you had enough money, you could build that Bat car, for instance. If you had enough money, that could be something that you could build.
Absolutely, it's definitely he definitely has a DIY sense to it.
The only thing they would say that was probably like kind of out there was the retinal pieces, like the contact lenses.
That was a little
much.
Like, okay, so hold on. So this Batman couldn't be bothered to put lenses into his cowl, where it was much more likely to have a better power source and everything like that. So where's the power source? How is this camera supposed to be working properly?
Oh, I mean, I couldn't tell you. I could give you some bullshit thing about like thermal conductivity or something in the eyes.
Thermal connectivity.
But,
right.
Like,
so, come on, man. He didn't.
But you're okay.
He wants
you're
to
okay
wear
with
makeup,
that.
is what you're telling me. He wants to wear makeup.
You're okay with that versus. First of all, I thought that was a great idea.
That was a terrible idea.
No, because it shows her the first time. Like when the director pointed it out, he's like, "Listen, you don't just magically take off your mask and the eye makeup is gone. Like that's what happens with every other Batman."
True.
Like the fact that he
every
actually
Batman wore the black. Yeah, every Batman wore the black makeup. I get it.
Right. But like they actually show it in this. It just happens to be.
What I'm saying, it was a choice. He wanted to wear the makeup because this guy can, so this is a Batman that's not smart enough to remember everything or remember important details of any case. Right? We can assume we can infer that much from the fact that he needs to have a recording device and rewatch everything that he actually did. So because of that, he created technology to be able to video record everything so that way he can be quote unquote a detective. Which let's be honest with you, he was a terrible detective. He did not know a damn thing. Everyone had to spoon feed him everything, and he got half of it wrong anyway. That's besides the point.
I wouldn't say that.
Yes. What did he get wrong?
Literally every single clue.
Oh, okay. Just literally everything. I'm sorry.
Yeah, literally every single clue. The Riddler literally had to spell out the important ending for him because he didn't even know what the hell a carpet lifting tool looked like, even though he knew for a fact that it was used as a murder weapon. There was blood on it.
Hold on.
But no. Let me get back to what I was trying to say. This Batman decided he wanted to wear makeup and the cowl because he didn't need to. He could easily put those lenses into his cowl, thus shielding his eyes, thus protecting his eyes.
Okay, I'm gonna throw this. I'm gonna throw this out to you.
And offer a more realistic video recording.
I'm gonna throw this out to you for one thing.
Okay.
Maybe he bought it from someone. Okay, I don't know who.
He bought the cowl.
No, he didn't buy the cowl from someone. He bought the lenses from somebody. We'll just throw that out there. The
contact lenses that have magical. Obviously, they have
he wouldn't have done that. It would all be Wayne Tech. He steals from his own company. That's like established.
Okay, so he stole that from his own company. Maybe we'll just establish that link. Okay. Everything else about that is very, I would say, handmade to a certain degree. The car was handmade. He's being very practical, I think, in not trying to just throw every single piece of technology. He's learning as he goes. Like the electrical shock system that he had in the very opening parts of the movie.
That was just a stun gun.
It was just a stun gun, right? Like he's slowly taking the time to build up his arsenal. And if this was year 5 Batman, I would definitely expect the cowl to be fucking fully integrated and have wireless, all that jazz. But he's basically taking the technology that he has now and trying to integrate it as quickly as possible because he doesn't have time to sit there and research on how to do this. He doesn't have Lucius Fox in the background right now, from what we can tell, building all this cool shit for him. Because in Batman Begins, the Nolan trilogy, Batman didn't do shit for his tech. He literally just
in general usually doesn't anyway. It's all Lucius Fox.
But
Lucius
that's
Tech.
what they're establishing in this. They're establishing that yes, he is the one that's building all of his own shit.
Right.
Everything is custom for him.
Yeah, he doesn't have a man inside yet. Because no one else has gotten onto his crusade.
Perfect example. Yeah, he's definitely a Batman that builds his own stuff. Great comment. Makes him smarter. So I think okay. Again, David, I'm gonna keep throwing this out here. Year 2, the man is obviously sleep deprived. He keeps saying, "Yeah, I'm a nocturnal animal now."
He said it once.
I understand. If we're looking at this Batman, this is the most emo Batman we've ever had, ever.
Yeah,
the fact when he takes off his mask and he's got that haircut is he's emo Bruce Wayne, and by God, Robert Pattinson knows how to play emo. Like, dude, it's almost it's horrifically bad how emo he is.
Yeah, that and okay, for a socialite, who Bruce Wayne is, but then also in a practical sense, Batman would have a closer cut than what he has. Even
are you talking about like muscle?
No. Hair.
I'm talking his hair.
Oh yeah.
Like he wouldn't have like.
How does he not have helmet hair?
That he would have a buzz cut.
Like, how does he not have helmet hair? Let's be honest. How does he not have helmet hair under that?
He has that though.
He does it though. His hair is like, oh, it's perfect and wavy and slightly wet because apparently he sweats magically now.
No,
he sweats magically. He probably just sweats. What?
Look, there's this very specific thing. I even got it up. It's kind of a. There's a better shot. I know.
It's the one. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he's sweaty. He's sweaty. But that's not helmet hair. Helmet hair when you wear a helmet, it
mats down.
But it's not perfect.
If you shake it, then it's.
I was like, he shakes his hair like
it's not like he's coming out with Farrah Fawcett feathering. Like a Charlie's Angel kind of shot.
I mean, that's what I feel like you're describing it though.
But I liked the eye makeup when he takes it off. Yes, it makes him look more emo. If we're being honest, he's got a My Chemical Romance vibe.
I was literally going to say this Batman is My Chemical Romance meets Taking Back Sunday.
But I mean, overall, the suit in general, besides that, I really like the suit. I think it's cool. I think it's great for.
Okay, hold on. Can you explain the tube things?
The tube things.
What is his tube things on his gauntlet? Oh. Why does he have tubey gauntlets?
Oh, okay. So I was trying to figure that out myself, and at first I thought it was like throwing spikes, but then it's just metal guards. Just exposed metal.
Oh, you're talking about I got
like on his wrists.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just exposed metal, like they're just metal guards.
Yeah, they're not doing anything per se, besides being guard.
Weird.
No, I mean it's metal now, for blocking it. I mean,
is this the forgive me for asking this? Is this the Batman that has like the guns that murdered his parents, like in the chest plate?
Are you talking about? Oh, that's what. Yeah, that was supposed to be that Batman. Yes, but I think that was the Ben Affleck Batman. No.
Yeah, never mind. Because this one they say like it's an unsolved case in this, right. So he wouldn't have the gun.
Ezra makes a good point. He suggests those are the cables for his grappling gun.
It's possible, but again, it's literally like tubes. It doesn't look like metal rope or any type of like anything. And does this Batman have like a belt? Does he have a utility belt at all? I can't remember.
Yes, he does.
So that's what I would assume he keeps the grapples.
Well, yeah, but they would all be within because he can. There's been times he's brought out the grappling hook from his wrist, like in really quick, so he wouldn't have like attached it to his belt first. It would just be in his somewhere hidden in his arm. So yeah, that tracks. It could be just the cables like wound up.
Maybe that's where the cable's running through, because I know he's used it as a weapon, literally as a weapon, in a few cases where he's literally like grapple hooked through somebody's leg.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, that's an acceptable answer.
Pattinson's Batman costume is okay.
I know it's a batarang. That's how much I know that for a fact. I think
that's
the original
not a
concept.
Batarang.
No, it was no. The chest plate, it's a batarang.
I thought I saw him take it off, but it was just a knife. He never uses it as a batarang.
He doesn't use it as a batarang, but it's supposed to be a batarang, I believe, like a foldable back.
Of course, Kevin Smith of it. Kevin Smith was the one who made that originally in the comics. Oh, that's funny.
Originally, I believe the concept was it was supposed to be made from the parents' death, the guns from that death.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
believe
make
that
the
was the
metal
original
pay for its
concept.
sins, forge it into something useful. Metal that broke my heart as a child will protect my heart as a man.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I don't know. Like I liked the suit. Batman itself was fine. The movie as a whole, though, it felt like there's a lot of fat that we could have trimmed.
In my opinion, I agree.
And I get, they're trying
they
to
could have
really
done better with the detectiveness of it. Because this one, it was less. He was being like a detective, and there was just more of him solving riddles, obviously because it's the Riddler. But that's pretty much how they show his world's greatest detectiveness is.
I gotta say, no. Here's the thing, and this is my pure opinion. I think this is an amazing noir detective story. The movie itself is fantastic. If you take the first 75% of this movie, completely remove Batman as a factor, and throw in a detective, an ace detective, or an old gumshoe, this movie would be freaking great. Like, I mean, I would love this movie. If it wasn't a Batman movie, it starts out very Zodiac killer-esque. The bad guys are intriguing. Colin Firth is freaking amazing as the Penguin.
Colin Farrell.
Firth.
Colin Farrell.
It's Farrell. That's even crazier.
It's definitely not Firth.
Sorry. Either way, blew my mind. I didn't even recognize the guy. Okay. Phenomenal acting. Everything about this movie screams classic detective, classic nose to the grind, solving mysteries.
It was
As a Batman movie, I wasn't sold, and the main reason why is, again, I felt like you could completely have removed Batman as a character, as a hero, and it wouldn't have changed the story at all. That's just my personal belief.
So you're saying this movie would have also worked as if they had starred The Question?
Yeah, it could have, yes. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it literally it plays out as a thriller. It plays out as a noir thriller with obviously an old school detective vibe to it. It felt like they forgot entirely that it was a Batman movie until the last third of the movie, when they're like, oh crap, we're making a Batman movie. Let's have them fight, and the Riddler somehow magically win again, because apparently the Batman couldn't figure out his clues, and everybody else had to give him clues and tell him answers to the issues that he was able to finally figure out everything. Fine, world's greatest detective. I'm okay with that, but here's the thing.
I don't know. I felt like I see what you're saying. Not to cut you off. I see what you're saying.
No, go.
The portrayal of the characters. I see this fitting as a great Batman movie. Now, is it my favorite Batman movie? I definitely have to rewatch it again to satisfy that. And it's going to have to be basically one of those things where I really take my time, pause it, get up, walk around, continue watching.
Yeah, I think it's definitely. I can't watch it in theaters again. I don't think my bladder could take it.
No. So, if we're just running off the top of our head here, the Riddler was fantastic. Paul Dano did a great job as the Riddler. Jeffrey Wright, wonderful as Commissioner. Well, I'm sorry, not Commissioner Gordon.
No,
Lieutenant Gordon. He doesn't. I don't think he becomes commissioner officially in this.
He does not.
So Lieutenant Gordon, perfect. I liked their banter, kind of going back and forth. He's like, I don't even know who you are, man. That type of stuff. That's like the only small smidgen of humor in this entire movie, because God knows Batman.
I'm not gonna lie. I laughed my ass off when Batman face planted onto the street. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny because especially he was just
that was a gut buster. Like,
or the
but
part
the
where
scene where he decks Gordon, and then he was like, "Yeah, you could have pulled your punches." Like, I did.
that was good too. That was very good.
Like, but the thing is like you're not going to get the comedy really from Batman. Like he just doesn't, which plays into the whole Broody
would
thing.
be
I get
the
it.
driest humor, though.
Right, but like
as Batman's want to do.
He doesn't crack a smile this whole time, right? Andy Serkis as Alfred, I thought was okay. He was.
I
didn't like him.
It's Alfred. It's Alfred.
I'm sorry. I just kept expecting him to bust out some not mithril. Mithril, or possibly even some vibranium.
You realize he's played in other movies, right?
That's what I'm saying.
I was hoping that David was going to be like, I was wanting him to walk out like Caesar the Ape, because he's been in that. And then
which he was phenomenal as.
While he's talking about my precious.
Oh Lord.
I was like,
as far as the relationship between Alfred, I just want to point out something. The relationship between Alfred and Bruce in the movie, like I don't even know if we were like 20 minutes into the movie because like, you're not my dad, Alfred.
You're not my dad. Like
I was just like,
thank
God. What relationship? That was no relationship. It was
that was the least like
Alfred.
That was the least best relationship, I would say, because there was none.
The thing is that how Alfred was talking to him, he was a lot more familiar because he never calls him like Master Wayne or Master Bruce. He just says Bruce.
Sure.
Right.
And then but how
you don't get the
Bruce
sense
talks
of,
to him.
You
it's
don't
just
get this,
you work for me.
Right. You don't get the sense of like to me Alfred's always kind of carried an air of like I'm very not I wouldn't say posh. I would say proper.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's a butler. He's a traditional. Correct. He's a gentleman.
And you know that they've pulled like his actual history before all that. He was in the service. He was I want to say MI6 at one point or something along this. He's lived a life of action. He knows how to get through shit.
Oh, he's always had. He definitely hasn't. He's always had, in every iteration, in my opinion, an air of I'm a badass and I could kick your ass, kind of like. Right. Like you knew that. You felt that.
Definitely a Mrs. Beakley. Mm-hmm.
But it feels like what happened with them, and obviously this is conjecture at this point. It feels like, Alfred like sent him off to boarding school or something. And just was like, get the fuck out of the house. You need to get out and do your own thing. And then he like came back and he was like, well, you weren't really the dad that you were supposed to be. Like it felt like the father factor wasn't there. Like that you get in later movies. Like, and maybe it's just because he's just come back or something. He's trying to do his, Batman thing. He doesn't care about anything besides the mission. I think the movie, I think that relationship suffers as a result of it because, like, the dude literally is in the hospital bed, opens his eyes, smiles, and he's like, Bruce really does care. And the very first thing is just like, you fucking lied to me, you asshole. and you just see, like, the smile, like, slowly fade. He was like, oh, yeah, Master Bruce is a real bitch. Like, we just, man.
Yeah, like I said, last 30
Alfred
minutes.
It was nice to see that there was at least one other person that works in the Wayne Manor with Dorothy.
That's a brand new character. That's a brand new character.
That was kind of weird. The little twist where he wasn't answering the phone or whatever when the bomb went off.
Yeah, and you were in the theater at the same time. Like, why won't you just answer the phone? Stop opening the mail for a second and just answer that phone. And yeah,
I thought that was kind of clever.
Well, it also shows that obviously no one really knows he's Batman except for Alfred.
No, I mean that's how it's supposed to be,
right?
But you know how superhero? I want to say in the last. okay, I'll say since the Marvel movies pretty much started, superheroing has been Night of 1,000 Reveals, where everyone who has a secret identity, like the first person that smiles at them nicely, they're like, "Hey, did you know I'm also a superhero? But you got to keep it secret, okay?" And then they immediately get murked by the bad guy and like, "All right, I'm never going to tell anybody." Hey, do you want to know who I am? Because I'm a superhero. Excuse me, sir.
He goes around.
But that's the funny part about this is that there's that whole scene where the Riddler is like Bruce Wayne,
like super creepy,
and like the entire time you're like you can tell
Bruce Wayne.
Batman is just like fuck. 2 years into this, and someone's already got my identity.
Going, fuck, he knows it. He knows the secret.
And then he says he's like, I don't know who Bruce Wayne or whatever. Like it's quite clear, like he doesn't know that Bruce Wayne is Batman.
But the thing is, I think that he does because I think it's in Hush or it's in The Long Halloween. One of those.
Hush.
Well, yeah. So in the comics, it's revealed that Riddler's always known who the Batman was. Mm-hmm. It's just he keeps it to himself because he does like the challenge of somebody trying to put a riddle that he can't.
Right. Do. But I'm talking within the context of this movie specifically. Like you get the sense that all of a sudden he's like, I really don't know who Batman is, and like you can see the fucking relief like telegraphed. In his eyes. He's just like, oh, thank fuck. Can we talk about
I think it's still a thing that he does know who he is, but he's going to keep going.
Maybe. What did y'all think about Catwoman?
Fantastic.
It was okay.
Best Catwoman, period.
Even better than your Michelle Pfeiffer?
Even better than Michelle Pfeiffer, yeah.
And Eartha Kitt?
Who?
The original woman?
Oh, no. Yeah, I don't even care. I don't even consider that one. Yeah, no. 100. This iteration of Selena Kyle, excellent, in my opinion. Didn't overdo the cat motif. She wore the suit. I find it weird that
she puts on like the cat nails onto her regular nails instead of just wearing like a glove with the nails.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
But yeah, as far as the nimbliness, yeah, I do like her as Catwoman.
So this didn't happen in my theater, but I was reading some spoiler-free reviews of the movie before I went. And they were talking about how apparently some people just haven't gone to the movies in a while. So they like just don't think about like their surroundings. The very first, and this is actually the scene that I have here. The very first time that Zoe Kravitz comes on screen as Catwoman, apparently a person like moaned in the audience.
Oh Lord.
And I was just like, that is just
what?
No one did it in my theater. This was like just a review that I read. It happened to someone that they were watching it. Anyone?
Oh, I thought it happened in your theater. I was like, can you recreate that moan for me? I just want to hear it.
No. Yeah, like I said, it didn't happen in that film. Or rather in my viewing of it, but I just thought, man, that's funny.
That's hilarious.
I thought she did great. I thought she was good.
I mean, we got Stalker Batman over here, like looking through binoculars, like doing the full on watching her undress. So,
yeah, that was kind of awkward.
It was, but I mean, I can see why he would do because he's not interested.
I think we can all see why, Nick.
Oh no, we see why the movie did it.
I think we can all see why. No, but I thought she was great. I do want to talk about the best character in the movie.
The best character in the movie,
Penguin?
the Batmobile.
The Batmobile.
Boo! Boo!
the Batmobile, dude. I'm sorry.
That was
Colin
such
Farrell.
a hype car chase.
It was.
It was the lamest car chase in all car chases.
From an execution standpoint, like the actual car chase itself, I'd get it a solid 7 out of 10. I wasn't like,
I literally went, "Oh, come on!" when that stupid ramp magically appeared.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The 7 out of 10 stems from the fucking ramp just coming out of nowhere.
Yeah,
but ramps come out of nowhere all the time in movie car chases. At least it wasn't just a truck that was going down, like one of those trucks but somebody just drives up it, like they always have it lowered down for that kind of thing.
Are you talking about a transporting truck?
Yeah, truck.
A truck. As
opposed it's a truck that transports trucks. It's a truck.
Okay.
So Colin Farrell, I'd say, would probably be the second best character in this movie. But the Batmobile, when that fucking thing revved up for the first time and actually just turned on.
That was badass when it first turned on.
I lifted up my fist and I was just like, fuck yeah. And then it was kind of followed by an okay chase scene. And I was like, can we just, repeat
if it wasn't in the trailer,
right?
It jumping through the flames, that fire, and really barreling down on them. Still, I gotta jump out of it. Like, oh, okay, I like this.
I mean, that's the thing. Like it was raw and kind of brutal. That particular car, and him getting hit by other cars too, just to show this thing isn't fucking impervious to damage or what have you.
Yeah, it was great. He did have the foresight to put bulletproof glass on it.
True.
Right. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. That one, I think execution wise was great. I almost was like, can we just keep rerunning that introduction a couple of times? Let that be the car chase scene. Because it was just so well done. And I've got I'm on the stream right now. If you're watching, it's got a little bit more of a close up. Because to be honest, this movie in its entirety, it's lit very darkly.
Yes.
It's raining constantly.
Yes.
So you just kind of barely get the silhouette of things. There's even a scene where Riddler is putting the bomb on the dude, and the entire frame is kind of out of focus and just wet, which annoyed the fuck out of me.
Well, if you went
to be like that because you weren't supposed to know exactly what was going on.
I know.
If you went to a better theater, maybe you would have been able to make out those clear distinctions in HDR.
What theater did you go to?
I went to Cinemark.
Okay.
Cinemark. Wow. Where'd you see it, Geoff?
I saw it at Star Cinema.
Star? Okay.
I watched it in it was a Sony 4K projector, so it wasn't anything special. I do suggest if you all get a chance, I don't know how much it is. I watched it the first time. They have the Samsung Onyx projector there at that particular one. It's pretty fucking nice, I'd say. For this movie specifically, because there's a lot of just deep blacks in the color scheme. It probably would have looked really fucking sick on that projector. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, if you could see, I can't wait to have this at home, and then I can watch it on OLED.
Yeah, I think it would look great on OLED. To be honest with you. So I think that pretty much covers the bones of the movie. As far as an actual story perspective, that was okay.
Yeah, the good bones of it. And then you got the one ending, which I hated so much.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. I wanted to get to that.
God.
So the overall story, the Riddler's clues and everything like that, I thought were good. I didn't think it was that heavy, stretched the imagination. Let's just dive in.
I'm hearing you through David.
Yeah, I think David's echoing here.
I shouldn't be.
But you are.
Apologies.
Yeah. Let's just kind of get to the ending. I thought so the overall ending-ish part where the Riddler's going through his whole speech and everything, and then the actual like blowing up of the seawall, like the villain actually having his shit happen the way he said would happen. Pretty cool. I think a bold move. The fact that it started flooding the city was pretty good. I thought for a moment it was going to be one of those things where it was showing like what could possibly happen.
But it ended up doing that.
But not actually happening, like that kind of bullshit. But yeah, no, they committed. They did a really good job with that. The ending, like the aerodome or stadium, I guess you could say, square garden or what have you. I thought that was okay. I don't know why he had to. Let me ask you guys this: when he falls down and he has to use the tube, do you think that was just straight adrenaline, or do you think that was something else?
Oh, when I first saw it, I instantly thought Venom.
I think that's what everyone
I thought too, because it's green.
It's green, so I think that's definitely like a subtle nod of things to come.
Well, I mean, every single card was a subtle nod to one of the Batman's road gallery.
Right.
So,
which I liked. There's except for the very ending.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't a subtle nod.
There was nothing subtle about it. Now here's the thing with the Venom thing. The reason why I thought Venom is there's actually a storyline where Batman creates the Venom, like the proto Venom. And
which I think is definitely what may occur here. So this, sorry to let you know, David, but Robert Pattinson is signed for 3 movies.
Boo!
So this is probably the start of a new trilogy. This is already made, I think, as of writing.
I'm glad this is getting recorded. I can't wait till 5 years from now when David's like, "Oh, you know what? I've always said that he was the best Batman, and I dare anyone to say otherwise."
And Nick is like furiously like, "Where the fuck is that podcast?"
Right?
Like, I will look in my fucking archives.
Here's the thing. I don't think I'll ever say that, regardless of how good this ends up being as a series. More importantly, continue, Geoff, with your theory of Venom.
So, I mean, I think that's going to be definitely something that comes to pass in a future movie. May not necessarily be the second movie or even the third one.
I kind of like the new background story for Martha and Thomas Wayne. I think they're going to explore it a little more. I'm getting strong Court of the Owl vibes.
And that's why I thought because that's what Pattinson said that he wants to do a Court of Owls, since nobody's done that as a movie.
Right.
I like that completely. I love Court of Owls. It was a great storyline. Here's why I have a problem with it. I got Amazing Spider-Man vibes from that entire plot line.
From which one?
And if you don't remember what I'm talking about, Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, they made a huge deal about how Peter Parker's parents were involved in some sort of weird ass conspiracy thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they were into some sort of deep organization, and they were maybe bad guys, and who knows what they were really into, and they died as a result of it, that type of thing. Like, I swear, like, I get that it's kind of interesting to make them involved in some weird thing. Because first off,
I never knew that Arkham was...
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. Like, I didn't know that Arkham was her maiden name.
Yeah, that's I think 1 or 2 storylines where Arkham is a part of that, because the Arkham family has been almost around as long as the Waynes have. So I think,
but it's really weird that you talk about the Arkhams and the Waynes. They're Gotham City's families, but then Thomas and Martha and Bruce were the last Waynes, and you never see any other Arkhams. Like, okay,
we could assume that there was something.
Well,
some sort of psychotic break,
right? Because Yeah, because mental illness definitely runs in the Arkham family. That's obviously part of the plot line with this, with the Batman, with Martha, and that's why Thomas Wayne did what he did with Carmine Falcone. But here's the thing: the Arkham Asylum was established as partly because Arkham wanted to give back to that community, and if you played through the Arkham series video games, it goes into depth about the Arkham family. But he also, the proprietor of the Arkham Asylum, actually went insane himself and became a patient in his own asylum. So
the fuck up. Ben Shapiro reviewed the oh my god.
Oh no!
No,
I'm hard pass.
Ban that shit for now.
Hypothetically, if I was a Batman and you were Catwoman and you had your whip and you put it around my tight little neck, well, what would you do with your claws?
It was
and
fucking good.
Superheroes don't do that.
God damn. So delving into kind of the latter, let's just cut to the end, right? Everything's kind of wrapping up. Thought it was a weird, like, hey, we're gonna part ways, and then we're gonna have this awkward motorcycle ride together after we've already said goodbye. And then we're gonna go.
Like, think of the scene in Fast and the Furious.
Yes, I was thinking about to bring that up.
100%. 100%.
I was hearing the song too in my head.
one last ride, blah blah blah, or some bullshit like that.
What?
That's what I was getting in my mind. One last ride before we part ways, or some bullshit. Oh, I forgot about John Turturro for fucking Falcone.
Yeah, great.
Did a great job, dude.
I think every actor did amazing. I think even the supporting cast needs to get an Oscar for pretending that Robert Pattinson was frightening.
I mean, like, the actual cast for this was really stacked. Colin Farrell's like the Penguin. I'm sorry, Jim, but he was better than DeVito. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, way better.
All right, so I don't like DeVito as Penguin because, one, I hate fucking Tim Burton films and just the whole aesthetic he does.
Oh, I love that aesthetic though.
But like, as far as the Penguin, yeah, you got short and but like making him fucking part penguin, yeah, that was just weird. But then this guy, he doesn't really have the because Penguin's always been like, he's trying to be a socialite, but you know, he's just not. And this, I don't get that. This is just, he's just a mob guy.
Ezra, you bring up a really great point about the apartment. The thing, like, it's kind of creepy. Like, I get it's supposed to be like a, I don't know, like a castle tower, perhaps.
It was definitely a tower. I wanted to say originally he was living in Wayne Tower.
Well, that's the other strange part about it, though, is because, like, traditionally it's always been Wayne Manor,
right?
Not, and like this here, like, it's a tower, so
in the middle of the city, of all places. Right. It
overlooking everything.
Yeah, it was definitely strange. I'm not 100% certain how I feel about that.
Strange.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
So again, like, fantastic supporting cast. They even got like Peter Sarsgaard as a fucking like council guy, the DA, just like randomly. He's just like the cream of the crop acting talent, just randomly doing cameo.
I mean, he played a rather large part, though.
He did.
Mm.
I mean, he hit on Catwoman.
So the ending. Let's just talk about the ending. And I'm talking about the very end. It's where we see Riddler locked up. He's seeing that his plan didn't really work out fully as well as he could.
And he is just going, oh.
Yeah, it's a full psychotic break. Yep.
He was just having kind of a moment.
That's one way to put it.
That is one way to put it. And then you hear a voice.
Yes.
And as soon as you hear the voice, is where as soon as I heard the voice, I'm gonna throw it out here this way. Well, that is instantly where the ending started to fall apart for me. And
so
here's the thing. I'm talking like a million miles per second is where the ending started to fall apart for me. I was getting pissed.
Here's the thing. Yes. I actually thought it was Two-Face at first.
No, it wouldn't have been him because
it's kind of got that, funny voice where it's like, I have to be the Joker,
I did not hear that at all.
No, instantly. As soon as you started talking, I was just like, he's got that. And the thing is, and I hate to say it, but like every Joker, for whatever reason, tries to do Hamill.
Hamill, yep.
And you can't do Hamill justice. He is the best Joker. Period. And he just, okay. I'm sorry.
I'm not even talking about Dark Knight either, so don't even.
Heath Ledger is my second favorite Joker. I'm just going to throw that out there. This is not the forum for that, though, because I know David's already getting itchy over there.
Yeah, he's a Romero stan.
I can even just going, oh, God damn it, Geoff. But as soon as I heard the voice, and as soon as he started talking, it just... I was pissed. Because, listen, we already had the Joker film with Joaquin Phoenix. We've had the Joker with Suicide Squad. Joker with...
Jared Leto.
Just Suicide Squad. Then we had The Dark Knight. Then we've had... It's just... I'm done with Joker.
The Joker is fucking over.
I'm done with them trying to recast it. I'm done with you trying to make it a new angle.
It's the exact same thing as killing his parents. It's just everyone's seen all of it. You can do it different angles. You can do it different personalities. It's just you've seen it a million times before. Just because someone has a different take on it, it doesn't make it any better. It's still the same fucking thing.
As soon as it happens, I immediately started to lose any goodwill that had been built up by this film. I was just plummeting for me, because I was like, man, you guys did a great job with the Riddler. I thought he did really cool. And I was just immediately invested in okay, they did great with the Penguin. What could they do with Two-Face? What could they do with Victor Zsasz? What could they do with Calendar Man of all people?
And I was talking to Ed about that. They have such a rose gallery. If they want to do a really dark and gritty Batman, they could have brought in Victor Zsasz. They could have brought in Professor Pig. They could have did the Court of Owls and made a real kind of thriller.
I want a real Victor Freeze.
So, even that would have been better than let's bring in Joker again.
I was even okay with Harvey Dent. I was good with a Two-Face.
Now, I'm going to point this out. The director has come out since and said that by his inclusion of that character, he is not alluding that it's going to be a setup for a sequel.
He even said most likely it wouldn't even be in the sequel.
Why the fuck then would you make such a big deal of having that character there?
Here's the thing.
It's because it's corporate intervention.
Because that really bums me out. It's just you give all of this money to do a bold direction, and then an exec was like, well, we gotta have the Joker. Well, Margot Robbie's really good as Harley Quinn. We should have her. I swear to God, if she popped up in the last couple seconds, I'd have been like, this movie is garbage. I don't care I don't care. Whatever. This movie is just straight garbage. No recommendation. No redeeming factor. It's done.
It's it's flaming garbage.
Full stop. Well, I've been full stop. I'm done. Listen, all in all, until that very moment, I thought it was a good movie. I'm not going to say it was fantastic and amazing and wonderful. It definitely has its flaws. It's way too long. Great performances. Robert Pattinson's great. Has an okay story. And if I were to give it a firm rating, I'd probably say 7.5 out of 10. Just
The critic in me says I agree with you. The critic in me is like 70%, 75% out of 100.
Yeah, it's not better than my favorite film, which is The Dark Knight. It's solid. I'd say it's very solid. Has the bones of a great potential Batman franchise.
Correct.
Yeah, it's okay.
If I were now, here is the person who hasn't seen a good movie in theaters in literally, well, obviously aside from Bond, but
so you still haven't.
The average the average. Now, here's the thing though: the average moviegoer hasn't seen a movie in 2 years. Okay, it's been that long since most people have started getting back into movies. The first real big release was Spider-Man: Far From Home. Or No Way Home.
No Way Home.
Right. Now,
Eternals.
Nobody watched that. Now everyone's coming back for the Batman. This is actually Batman's biggest weekend release ever of any movie that he's been in. It's completely
like 150 million. It did better than was expected.
Way better. Mm-hmm. And that has a lot to do with the fact that you have a big name like Robert Pattinson headlining this movie. You have obviously other phenomenal actors, and again, the movie itself was phenomenal. If I were to rate that solely on the fact that I have not seen a movie in 2 years, this is definitely the movie that would bring me back into theaters. This is a movie that I would rate highly in the 90s on that alone. But again, this is somebody. If we were to take this movie, zip it back to 2019, this movie wouldn't be rated as good as it is right now. And that's
okay. So let's say if it's 2019, what would you rate the movie?
I would rate it at 7.57.
Isn't that the same thing that you said it was?
No, I'm saying I think a reason why it's getting rated so high by other people and by critics and stuff like that is because they haven't
like Rotten Tomatoes,
right?
With,
it's like high 80s or low 90s, generally speaking.
Okay.
And
as of this recording, it's 86% for the
tomato meter, it's definitely gone down. It's definitely gone down,
which is audience. Sorry, which is critic based.
Right.
It has an 89% audience score.
That has also gone down. So it looks like
Nick,
the thing about audience scores or even some critic scores is that it's kind of skewed. Not all of them will be on a 1 to 10 scale where you can say nuance to a 7 or not. Some are just smash or pass, or wait for rent, miss it, or go see it in theater. So,
I do want to point out just for that point alone. Can you guess when this is going to streaming? Just if you
next month,
take it up. April 19th.
Next month.
Wow!
Really?
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I can definitely, because you have the whole thing with how movies would get shipped off to DVD a month after it leaves theaters, sometimes weeks. And
but
now
this feels
streaming,
sooner.
you can just slap it in there real quick. So it spends its time in the theater, and immediately when theaters stop showing it, start putting it on streaming.
Yeah.
I like that quick turnaround. But
if you were to give it a rating.
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
Because I would be on the type of rating where it will just be miss it, wait to rent, or go see it in theater. And I would say go see it in theater because the ambiance and the sound design is much better in the theater with a good sound system rather than just watching it on TV with a home theater in a box kind of setup, unless you really have a rockin' ass system. I'd say go see it in theater just to, like David said, dust off the cobwebs of not being in the theater for a while. But I would say it's definitely a good movie to see.
The soundtrack is not amazing, but the sound design is. And that's all I'll really say. So, if I think we're getting some echo again, David, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
You're okay. If you truly want to know the tone of this film and whether or not you'll enjoy it, if you the Joker is, I would say, extremely close to tone, visual, dare I say, soundtrack than any other like Batman movie, I would say.
You would say this movie's closer to the Joker?
In terms of like, not necessarily style, but like cinematography. I'd say the soundtrack has a very like brooding. If you watch the Joker movie, right, it's definitely darker visually. This obviously takes in a completely different turn where it's just oppressively dark and rainy and moody. Like the Joker had a little bit of that, but I'd say it was like a slow burn. The best way to put it. The Joker was an extremely slow burn. I fell asleep during the Joker, or nearly did. That's not to say it was like a bad performance or anything. I started to fall asleep during it. So I must admit, a little bit of bits in this movie too. I started to kind of get bored and kind of fall asleep a little bit.
Oh, don't worry. The people next to us literally were snoring.
The people next to us were doing. That's all I'm gonna say.
Did you go to one of those theaters that have the beds?
It's not a bed, but it's like
you heard clapping before the end of the movie.
Oh no,
no, it has like the walls that kind of go up above next to you, so you're like in a pod, if you will.
Okay.
It's not a pod so much as like I can reach my hand over and be like over on the wall.
I mean, just say what it is. It's a jerk station.
Yeah.
Oh, okay then.
So I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, if you guys have any parting thoughts, we're at the 1 hour 40-minute mark. I think that's a pretty good place to stop. Is there any other thoughts that you guys had about this before we close out?
Oh no, I got nothing else. But I'm probably going to get off here because, oh boy, that Wendy's is working through me.
Good luck, buddy.
Well, and on that note, thank you all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you coming on board.
And go take a Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Hey.
Just so you know, we do have streams every week. We have one actually tomorrow for Apex Legends, the Wednesday stream. We also have a stream on Monday, which kind of has a rotating game selection right now. The lads are playing Dying Light 2. So if you're interested in watching that, definitely give them a watch. Mondays at 8 p.m. is usually when they start. And occasionally we also have Pokemon Thursdays. We also have some streams on Sunday from Jim. And I don't know, I really enjoy doing this podcast with you guys. I think we might try to do a few more podcasts as things happen. David, I actually was thinking about if you have some time later on this week, talk about the new Apple stuff that just got released.
I'd be happy to.
Cool. So y'all have a great night. Thank you again for tuning in. Subscribe if you enjoyed the podcast. We are on all podcast platforms. Spotify, Apple Podcast, everywhere you can think. Just for Rants On by Ranting Media is the full name of the podcast.
We're in all the good ones.
Yep. Thank you all so much, and y'all have a great night.
Goodbye.
All right, I did my job as plug man.